Welcome back, everybody, to another Dragon Ball Super deck profile here with Chris from TCG Insane Elites. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. And I wanted to bring you guys a deck profile that I had of a tournament that we had over the weekend. And this deck, I actually was the first weekend I've actually ran this deck. The idea, I was going to play something else, which I'm going to make a deck profile for later, which is kind of the deck that I've been building for quite a while now. But this leader in particular was really fun to play, and I'm going to continue to play variants of this leader in the future. And it is the Demigra. I built a variant of the Demigra Storm deck that people have been playing, and I think my variant's really strong. I think there's some changes we can make to it in the future, but I think this deck, well, I do know from just experience now that by turn 2, turn 3, I have the ability to swing about 13 times in one turn. I think that was the most that I did in one turn was 13, and that includes leader swing. And it's extremely aggressive. If a deck's not prepared for it, the deck will completely lose. They have no chance of winning. If the deck has some form of negate, whether they run yellow or red, they have a chance. Flying Nimbus and Protector of the People are the 1-2 combination that kind of puts a hinder to this deck. Topo, I'm not too worried about. We have answers for Topo. But those two extra cards in particular, this deck does not have an answer to yet. Hopefully in the future, Black will get something to answer them, but as of right now, we do not. So let me know what you guys think of this deck profile. Let me know. I will show you guys a deck listing at the. You guys can look in the description for a link. Take you to the deck listing. You guys can check out prices and everything else like that. But smash the like button. Let me know what you guys think of our content. Hit the bell for you get all the notifications for when we put out videos, and just gonna continue to make content for you guys. So Demigra is a very simple leader. When you swing at a leader card, you burst 3. If all of your cards are black, you draw a card. I was running Champa the Trickster in this deck previously, but with my bursting ability and how unlucky I am sometimes, I would always end up bursting Champa at some point, and I wouldn't be able to draw. So I took it out, but I have enough cards in this deck that run double strike and do different things that it's not too big of a worry. At 4 life, you can restand 2 energy, and then you flip to active mode. On this side, he becomes even more deadly. He has an ability called Wormhole. He's the only character in the game I think that has a Wormhole right now. That's a leader, of course. We can activate Overrealm and Dark Overrealm up to 2 times in a turn. So you can do 2 Overrealms, or a Dark Overrealm and an Overrealm, or 2 Dark Overrealms, whichever combination of those two you want to do, you can do on this deck. When you swing, you draw a card. So now you basically just, when you attack a card, you swing and you draw. And the active main is to replenish your drop area. You can take 3 black cards, any type of card, extra card, battle card, doesn't matter, any energy cost, doesn't matter, from your warp, add them to your drop area. This allows you to recycle your Overrealm, and kind of a tip for when you're playing this leader is you want to Overrealm high first and then low second, because you can only fit 3 cards from your warp to your drop again. So you want to be able to use your big Overrealms, your 5s, your 6s, your 7s first, and then, or even more, and then once you have a card that only requires like 3 cards to be able to Overrealm, you do those second. So just kind of a tip for you guys if you guys are going to be playing Black Overrealm. So cards here, we run, I want to get down to 4 life as quickly as possible so we can awaken. So we run 3 of the Dark Power Black Mass Saiyans. These, you can self-awaken, take a life, and swing, gain 15. It becomes a 15k swing. Or you can just sit this on the board, and it forces your opponents to remove it before they can play any type of battle cards outside of non-keyword skills. I mean, outside of keyword skills like Arrival, or by hard casting it. Any other type of way of playing it out, like autos or active mains, they cannot. So cards like Bardock Raider's Warcry can't play. It won't be able to come to effect unless you drop 2 cards from your hand. I played against a baby player, played this out turn 1. They conceded turn 2 because they couldn't play out their Mew baby combo, because those are not keyword skills. So they had to basically drop 4 cards from their hand. So we run 3 of these. And we run 4 of the Demigra Demonic Overlord. Overlord is the kind of engine of this deck. This starts the chain, and this makes you kind of go into hyper mode. So what you do is you burst 2, tap 2, you pitch this card, and you can take 1 to 2 life, 1 or 2 life, I'm sorry, you have to take at least 1, and you take a Gravy and a Poutine from your deck, or your Warp, play them, shuffle your deck if you look through it. So turn 2, you play this out. Depending on which type of deck you're playing against, I learned you should only take 1 life if you're playing against an aggressive deck. If you're playing against a non-aggressive deck, just take 2. Get more cards in your hand because they're not going to swing at you anyways, like Piccolo Surge, things like that. But you want to try to get as many cards in your hand from this ability as possible. So I would say throughout a game, I'm probably going to activate this only twice. So I just need to see this card twice. I mean, basically I just need to see it once. As long as I see this card once and I don't burst the other ones, I'm going to be able to pull one from my deck, and then I'll be good for the next turn. So turn 2 and turn 3, this is kind of your play here. So this is the Poutine that we run for Blast. This card, when you play it out, you actually get to search a Demigra with a 4 or less. So we basically get to search this card out for free. So we play this, this comes into play, and then when this card comes into play, we use her effect to search him out. Very good effect. And then we play 3 of the Gravies. Only play 3 of each because deck size, it's not, we haven't got the extended deck size yet, so 50 is still the deck, and it's really hard to fit more cards into this deck at the moment. Then 3 and 3 felt pretty good. Next card, you run 3 of the Secret Technique Pepperoni. All the Universe 3 cards, all the black ones, have this effect where when they're pitched from the battle area or the combo area, they go into the bottom of your deck. So if it's removed from your combo area by an ability, or if it's KO'd or removed from the field by negging or whatever, it goes to the bottom of your deck. Helps it so it can't recycle so quickly. That's also what the errata is as well, just to kind of help it so it can be played. So you can combo with these cards. Don't look at what it says on the card. You can combo with these and they will go to the drop. So Pepperoni gets played out from Poutine. Poutine's a 2-drop, so when you swing with her, you send her to the Warp, play this out, and now you have 15k. That gives you 2 swings right there. Then you have Gravy. You swing with him for 20k. He is a 3-drop, so then we can play out the 3-drop Nagrishi. Same thing. We can pitch Gravy and bring out this card here. Now, I'm gonna keep Nagrishi here because he has a few other targets that we run in this deck. So one of them is going to be the Promo Turles. I'll go down here a little bit. The Promo Turles, probably one of my favorite cards that have come out in black. It's a 10k dual attack that comes out for free. You take 2 black cards from your drop area between 3 and 7, put in the bottom of your deck in any order. This just gives you immense amounts of value because I'm only going to charge 2 to 3 energy early game because my goal is to end the game by turn 3. So I really don't need a lot of energy, especially since my leader untaps 2 when I awaken, so I don't really need much more. Most of the cards we have in this deck cost 0 energy or they cost 1. So we don't really have to have a lot of energy for things. When this card comes out, you can swing as dual attacks. When you restand, you can activate Battle and pitch a card to the drop. This card gains 5k for the turn. What happens is I'll swing with I'll swing with the Turles, restand. They say no negates. I'll activate Battle. Hopefully pitch this, the Nagrishi, pitch it to the drop, finish my 2 swings, and then I'll play out a Nagrishi and pitch the Turles. Now there have been games, because of some other cards that I run in this deck, where I'm able to play out multiple of these in a turn. I played 3 of them out in 1 turn before. I never got to swing with the last one because the person I was playing against just quit. But this card can be just devastating for somebody when they see multiple of these being played. Yeah, you have to watch it though because you don't want to shuffle too many of these Universe 3 cards back into your deck. You want to keep them in the drop so you are able to activate these and then have another turn. So this is probably the most that I've had. So this is 6 swings in itself. Then if you tackle on 2 of these, that's 8 swings in 1 turn for no energy. Now obviously you have a lot of RNG there by pulling out those particular cards, but it's pretty possible in this deck to do. The other target, I'll put Nagrishi back here. So the other target for Nagrishi, this one's a little more expensive now than it wasn't at the time, is Super Saiyan 3 Tag Team Trunks. This came out of Draft Box 4. Card's like 40-50 bucks now, around that area. I bought it for like, I think $8, but it's an Overwhelm 3. It's Overwhelm 3. When you play this card with Overwhelm, it has crit. So when you play it out, it has crit. And then the activate battle is you get to pitch a card, send it to the warp. Very key note to remember is to the warp. This card gains to double attack or double strike for the turn. This is one of my game enders. I can basically super combo or just combo on top of this card and just, you know, basically win the game because I'm giving it double strike. Now you can't do the same thing with Turles as you did the Trunks for this card, because when you pitch this, it goes to the warp. So it goes to the warp, which we need to have it out. Now, unless our leader, we haven't used our leader ability yet, we can pitch it to the warp, give a double strike, and then use our leader ability to pull back the Nagrishi to then activate battle before the turn ends, pitch Trunks, and then play out Nagrishi. So there are some ways to play it out. So we run 3 of those. Now for the 4 costs, we run 2 of the Bardock Awakened Instincts. I would run 4 of these. I did not have 4 at the time. I think I ran 3. One of my teammates let me run 1. But this is a great card. It's Overwhelm 4. You just draw 2, pitch 1. And we have the Super Saiyan 3 Tag Team Gohan, which I would run 4 of this if I had a 4th one. This card works super well in this deck. Overwhelm, if a card leaves the field from an Overwhelm, you can play this out. So you basically get to play out a blocker for free. Or if a card leaves by another skill, like these Activate Mains, you can play this card out. Now these two are targets for this guy here. Viera, Everlasting Assault. Same thing as the other robot and Pepperoni, except he is a 20k. Sorry, it's hard to see the light there. He is a 20k body and crit, which is really nice. So one of the plays you can do is if you have multiple Vieras, let's say you draw multiple of them or you have multiple of them in your hand, you can play out a Bardock for free, Overwhelm. Draw 2, pitch 1. Hopefully pitch a Viera. And then swing with Bardock, activate main, pitch Bardock, play this card out, and then you can play out Super Saiyan 3 Trunks, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan from your hand. Now, obviously, it's very hand effective. You're basically losing 3 cards from your hand, and I mean, you're technically losing, we'll say 2, because you're drawing 2 cards. Actually, yeah, you are. You're basically losing 3 cards from your hand. So your hand size is going to go down, but if you have a possibility of winning game that turn, it's fine. You just pitch it and just kind of go. But we run 3 of the Viera, 2 of the Bardock, and 3 of the Gohan. Would probably run 4 of each of them if I had the extra ones. Our game pusher super combo here is going to be Bibbidi. This card is insane. I've had people tell me that they think this card should be banned. It doesn't make any sense to me. If all of your energy is black, though, when you combo with this card, this card gains 1,000 power for each 1,000 combo power for each card in your drop and your warp. So there's times where I've had this get up to 13, 14, 15k, and then I would drop 2 or 3 of them, and people would just go, okay, I'm not gonna, you don't need to count. I can see all the cards you have in your drop and your warp. I'll just take the damage, or we'll go to another game. The best super combo you can run for black. Sucks when you burst them, unfortunately. So I would say if you're playing and you your first hand before you mulligan, if you have multiple of these in your hand, just keep them. Just keep them, because you don't know if you're gonna get them back. That's the one problem I have with this deck. One of the promo Hachiak. At the moment, I don't run the 5-drop Anilaza because I don't have it yet. But in the future, I would probably, with the new Demigra, the 5-drop Demigra that comes out in set 10, I'm probably going to end up running 2 of those and 2 of these. That way I can run 2 to 3 of the Anilazas, because it is a 25k double strike barrier. And this card's pretty great, though. You want to pitch it, you get the burst 2, and then you can activate its main for 3. Take 3 cards, battle cards, between 3 and 7, black battle cards, put them in the bottom of your deck, play this card out. And then when you swing at a battle card the first time, you can restand, so you become a dual attack, so you can help kind of clear board. But your opponent's going to want to remove this card. However, once they remove it, you can just play it back out for 3 energy. So as long as you have one of these in your drop area, you can just continuously just keep playing it out until, you know, you need to do something else. So I only run one of right now. Two of will probably be in the future. Probably the best card in the deck. This card gets an award. Koitsuki, the Mechanical Courage. I've been trying to collect these cards for since they got announced. This card is great in any deck, but it works super well in this deck. So it's an activate main for 1 colorless energy. You remove this card from your drop from the game. You choose 2 cards in your hand, up to 2 cards. So you can pick 0, you can pick 1, you can pick 2, put them at the bottom of your deck, and you draw that many cards. So if you pitch 2, you draw 2. And then your opponent cannot play battle cards with 20k power or less, unless they pitch 2 cards to the warp. So cards like the 3-drop counterattack hit, the 4-drop, or technically it's a 5-drop that becomes a 3-drop. You have the Kakunsa negate. You have Topo. You have Vegeta the Cruel, Champa the Trickster, all this other kind of stuff. You basically can just stop them from playing that stuff, or if they want to play it, they have to warp 2 cards. So they're kind of ruining their hand size. If you have this card in your drop and you know you're gonna use your Demigra burst ability, or you're gonna start playing out a bunch of stuff, just pop this at the beginning of your turn, and then I kind of put it next to my my playmat so people know that it's active, and then I just go and do as many plays as I possibly can, and unless they have extra cards that they're gonna have to use to negate, you can probably just push for game. They have Topo. It's cool. You play Topo, you have to pitch 1 for Topo anyways. Now you have to pitch 2 more for Topo, so you're just ruining your hand size. It ends up being a game changer. There's a few games where I did not play this out just because I completely forgot it was in my drop area, or I had it in my warp and I just didn't think to use my activate main. I ended up losing those games, but you know, you learn. First time playing this deck. Card's really good. Run 3 of them in the main. I could fit 4 in the main, I would, but the excellent card to run. And then the second game ender and the third game ender, we have the Scientist Fu. Sorry, I'll kind of organize this a little bit better. And we have Mira, Assault of the Skies, from the skies. So Scientist Fu and Mira are both both double strike cards. They both come out for 1 energy, and they both have 7 overwhelm. So this is kind of, if I'm pushing for game, I'm going to overwhelm this card first, and then use the Trunks or another one of my small overwhelm cards later, earlier that I showed, to basically end the game. So Scientist Fu, when you play him out for 1 energy, 7 overwhelm, you draw 2, and now he is a 25k double strike, and perfect target for the Bibbidi combos as a game ender. And you have Mira, which Mira's the same idea. When you play this card, you draw 1. Then it's a 30k double strike, but at the start of your opponent's main phase, you restand 1 of your energy. So you get an energy back for negates, or so you can combo a 10k in your hand. It just allows you to be able to tap out for this card and not feel too bad about it. So 1 of these and 2 of these so far. And then for extra cards, where we don't run many, 2 Not Even a Scratch in the main deck, and 2 Super Kamehameha. I will probably end up taking out the Not Even a Scratch and putting in just 4 Super Kamehamehas, because this card here also is just super good if someone does try to play Topo, and let's say you even have the Mechanical Courage down. They can still play it. They just have to pitch 2 cards. This card will allow you to, you play this card when they play Topo. They still have to pitch a card for Topo. They pitch 2 more because of the robot, and then Topo goes to the warp. So Topo negates, but he doesn't get the auto effect, so you can just keep swinging. And generally, when someone plays out Topo, they're hoping that the turn just ends. And if you can remove that Topo auto effect, you basically can probably just go for game. So this card's super effective, especially since we're gonna get the 4 life as quick as possible. You play this card out either by its permanent, you can take a life, or you play it out by 1 energy. And there's so many targets that this hits. It just kind of can help. This may hinder your opponent from even playing offense at some point. So 4 of these I think would be kind of what I would deem ideal. Now for the side deck, we run 1 more robot, because why not? More robots means more victories. 2 Dark Banisher Foos to deal with cards that I need to warp, like the Big Baby cards, or a Heartfelt Plea, or a Beerus, or something like that. 2 Seasoning Arrow. I got to play it out once. It almost won me a game. Ended up ripping someone's Black Smoke Dragon from their hand. I just didn't have any more cards in my hand to work with, but this is very good for hand destruction. It basically works as hand destruction for them. You play it out, your leader gets 10k, and you can choose 1 card in their hand and send it to the warp. Now, this has to be on your turn, so it's only offensively, not defensively, so it doesn't work defensively. But it's an okay card I may end up taking out later for some other things. 2 Demonic Absorption. This is if the game is, I'm playing a very, very elongated game, like I'm playing against Hatchiyak or Piccolo Surge or something. I'm going to, turn 5 and 6. I have to play a little more mid-range. It's a little bit difficult with this deck, but having Demonic Absorption just allows me, it's a free 5k combo as well. So it's not completely dead. But 2, I think, in the side deck's fine. I didn't side any of them in last time. This card here, I probably will run 4 of them. The Majin Buu Human Extinction Attack. Great card. It's a 15k combo, as well as you can warp one of your opponent's cards from their drop area, and you get the burst 4, which helps fill your drop area up for more plays. Very good card. I'm going to end up probably mainboarding this card in the future. I just have to figure out how to put it in. 2 Deboros, because counterplays, again, with playing elongated games against certain decks, I need to have answers for things like Xenocell, Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, because I can't actually negate those cards. And I can't out combo them because my hand's not going to be that big. So having these cards, I can at least negate their abilities and they can't attack me. And I get a chance to win next turn. 1 Power Overseeing Time Trunks. Another 4 energy that I could use for Vieira. Also allows me to pull cards back from my warp that maybe I weren't able to play out, like one of my 7 drops that I need to win the game. 1 Remote Serious Bomb. Again, if we're playing against a deck that has a lot of big boss monsters and they're not playing a lot of them out at once, they're playing like maybe 1 or 2, I can play this out and make them choose a card to send to the warp, so maybe it just gives me a chance to remove something really big. A 3rd Not Even a Scratch. This will probably be the only one that I will run in the main and the side later on. And then the Demigra Secret Rare. Didn't side it in at all. I'm never going to get the 5 to turn 5 to play this card out unless I'm playing against a slow deck. So it's why I don't really want to mainboard it. But it's still an amazing card. When you swing at this card, your opponent reveals their hand. They choose up you choose up the 4 battle cards and combo with them. So if they have 3 battle cards, you just choose all 3. If they have 4, you choose all 4 of them. Then you just combo with them for free. And he's a triple strike, and he's 40k. You have a lot of tools to win games with this card. But like I said, it goes in the sideboard because it's not really needed in the main. That is my my tournament Demigra deck as of right now. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.